Even this version of Manny, you think beats Rolly?
Yeah, I think he decisions him. I think he outboxes him. More experience. I think that he confuses him.
Okay. It just amazes me that he still wants to do this at 46. You'd think like he's had like 70 fights.
Manny Pacquiao is not done, not even close. At 46 years old, he is still being called a nightmare matchup, and respected voices like Abel Sanchez are breaking it down with clinical clarity. This is not about nostalgia or living in the past. It is about raw facts, boxing IQ, and undeniable ability. In this episode of BoxiHub, we take a deep dive into why Manny Pacquiao remains a problem in the ring, regardless of his age. With 8 powerful breakdowns from Abel Sanchez and others, we analyze what truly separates a veteran like Pacquiao from the young guns who think they are ready. Stick around until the end, because the conclusion might surprise even the most loyal Pacquiao fans. And if you love boxing debates like this, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment your thoughts below. Now let's get into it. When Abel Sanchez says Manny Pacquiao will beat up Rolly Romero at 46, he is not exaggerating. He is speaking from years of watching the sport and understanding the psychological and tactical components of a high-level fight. Manny's experience in the ring is not just about the number of fights. It is about the situations he has faced, the styles he has conquered, and the ability to adapt mid-fight. Sanchez believes Manny's ability to confuse opponents comes from his unpredictable angles, footwork, and speed that still catches people off guard. While Rolly may bring youthful energy, he lacks the depth of ring IQ Manny possesses. Sanchez is not just saying Manny will win. He is saying Manny will control and outbox Rolly, using years of experience and composure to make the fight one-sided. This is not a slugfest that favors a younger man. It is a chess match, and Sanchez believes Rolly will be 3 moves behind from the opening bell. This fight is not about who hits harder, but who understands the flow and tempo of a real boxing match, and Sanchez sees no contest.
Even this version of Manny, you think beats Rolly?
Yeah, I think he decisions him. I think he outboxes him. More experience. I think that he confuses him.
Okay.
Abel Sanchez is not buying into the hype Rolly Romero gained from his performance against Ryan Garcia. According to him, Ryan's outside-the-ring problems played a major role in how that fight looked. He acknowledges Rolly's hand speed, but puts that into context. Hand speed alone does not make a fighter elite. It is the combination of speed, timing, and the ability to respond under pressure that defines greatness. Sanchez emphasizes that Ryan Garcia did not provide true resistance, and that inflated Rolly's standing. The minute Rolly steps in with someone who can respond, who can put pressure back on him with precision and speed, the real test begins. And Sanchez believes Manny Pacquiao is that test. He is not impressed by performances that only shine because of the opponent's flaws. Instead, he is looking at how a fighter performs when everything is even. In that scenario, he gives the edge to Pacquiao, not only because of skill, but because of composure. Rolly may have looked good last time, but Abel does not see him holding up once real adversity is thrown his way.
Ryan Garcia, that unfortunately, because of his fame, because of his issues outside of the ring, has not really progressed. Yeah, he's got great hand speed and he punches hard, but as soon as he fights somebody that can fight back, it just seems like he doesn't do well.
When Sanchez compares the Manny versus Rolly matchup to other fights like Barrios, he is highlighting more than just excitement. He is identifying that this fight has ingredients that fans crave. Manny brings name recognition, a legendary career, and most importantly, a style that still excites. Rolly, on the other hand, brings unpredictability and a willingness to engage. But what Sanchez is getting at is that this matchup is dynamic because Manny will not fold, and Rolly will be forced to work at a pace he might not be comfortable with. Sanchez implies that unless someone like Barrios completely reinvents himself and raises the level of pressure and excitement, the Manny versus Rolly bout is what boxing needs right now. It is not just another fight on the calendar. It is a moment where a veteran can once again remind the world why he was a champion for decades. And for Rolly, it is a chance to prove whether or not he belongs in that same space. According to Sanchez, Manny still has the tools to make this more than just a passing of the torch.
I think it'll be a more exciting fight. than the Barrios fight. I like that. Unless Barrios changes completely and pushes Manny a little harder.
Abel Sanchez emphasizes that the appeal of Manny Pacquiao goes beyond his accomplishments. There is something magnetic about him. Whether he is fighting a legend or a prospect, fans are watching. Sanchez attributes this to how Manny carries himself, how he fights with heart, and how he consistently delivers entertainment. Even now, at 46, Pacquiao commands the kind of attention that most active champions do not. And that is important in the context of Rolly Romero. Because when the crowd is invested, when the pressure is amplified under the bright lights, it becomes more than just talent. It becomes about poise. Sanchez knows that Rolly is stepping into a different kind of spotlight, and Manny thrives under it. That is why Sanchez continues to highlight the intangibles Manny brings into the ring. His ability to focus, remain calm, and flip the switch when needed is not something that fades with age. Rolly might have youth, but Manny has command. He commands the audience. He commands respect. And most critically, he commands the rhythm of the fight.
That's why he's loved, man. That's why he's loved, and that's why he's followed. That's why no matter who he fights, there's gonna be eyes on him.
Abel Sanchez does not just rely on nostalgia when discussing Manny Pacquiao's ability to defeat Rolly Romero. He brings up Pacquiao's fighting style, which has always been a problem for flat-footed fighters who rely on straightforward pressure. According to Sanchez, Manny's use of angles, quick pivots, and his ability to explode in short bursts makes him a unique threat. He believes Rolly has not yet been exposed to someone who moves the way Manny does. Many fighters in today's scene are too used to opponents coming forward in predictable lines. Pacquiao, even at 46, breaks that mold. Sanchez states that the difference is not just in hand speed or footwork alone, but in how seamlessly Manny blends the two. He can create openings out of nowhere, make fighters reset their stance, and then punish them while they're still thinking. That's a level of rhythm and timing that only comes from years of fighting top-tier competition. In Sanchez's eyes, Rolly's lack of experience against unorthodox rhythm is a key vulnerability, and Manny is tailor-made to exploit it. That's why he sees this fight as a mismatch in terms of boxing intelligence, not just physical skill.
In the past, when he was in his, I'm not gonna say his prime, but he was in his better state, it was like maybe he just came into camp. That's the Manny that I saw. Maybe he just came into camp. It's the first week in camp. It's the first sparring session, and that's what he looked like in the fight. You know, I'm sure as camp goes on.
Another angle Abel Sanchez explores is Manny Pacquiao's conditioning and discipline. At 46, many assume age alone will catch up to him, but Sanchez sees something different. He notes that Manny has always been one of the most disciplined athletes in boxing. From early training camps to his work ethic outside the ring, Manny has built a foundation that extends his prime longer than most fighters. Sanchez draws attention to how Pacquiao still maintains elite-level cardiovascular shape. While most fighters slow down in their mid-30s, Manny seems to have found a second wind. That's not a result of luck, but of lifelong commitment to staying ready. Rolly Romero, by contrast, has yet to prove he can maintain high tempo for multiple rounds against a pressure fighter. Sanchez points out that if Manny starts fast and controls the pace, Rolly will be tested physically and mentally. This isn't just about speed or power. It's about keeping your composure when someone is breathing down your neck for 12 rounds. Sanchez believes Rolly has never faced that kind of sustained pressure. Manny brings it, and that could wear down the younger fighter far quicker than expected.
And it's not only Manny, it's every fighter. It's all my fighters. It's all, I'm sure, Freddie's fighters. It's everybody's fighters. When they first come to camp, that's why they're in camp for 6, 7, 8 weeks, because it gets better and better and better, and hopefully you peak at the right time.
Abel Sanchez makes it clear that the mental game in boxing is as important as the physical. When he evaluates this matchup, he looks at Manny Pacquiao's calm demeanor and fight IQ compared to Rolly Romero's emotional in-ring tendencies. According to Sanchez, Manny knows how to bait young fighters into making mistakes. He understands the small movements that force reactions, and once an opponent bites, he capitalizes. Rolly, on the other hand, is known for his bravado and willingness to engage, sometimes recklessly. That plays into Manny's hands perfectly. Sanchez believes that when Rolly gets hit clean by someone like Pacquiao, the emotional response could lead to poor decisions. He might try to brawl or rush in, only to get countered. Manny has been here before. He has fought aggressive fighters, slick movers, and power punchers. He has studied all styles. Sanchez argues that Rolly has not shown the same range of adaptability. He's been able to impose his style in the past, but Sanchez doubts that will work here. The psychological edge, according to him, belongs entirely to Manny, and in high-stakes boxing, that edge often dictates the result more than any physical advantage.
It just amazes me that he's one, he still wants to do this at 46. You think like he's had like 70 fights. Think like, hey, you know what? I'm almost, 50 years old, 4 years away, even though that's still a long time. Like, I don't need to take punches like.
Finally, Abel Sanchez reflects on legacy. For him, this fight isn't about Manny Pacquiao needing to prove anything. It's about reminding the boxing world what greatness looks like. He sees this as a fight that reveals the gap between a fighter still building his resume and one who has already etched his name in history. According to Sanchez, when legends like Pacquiao return to the ring, they don't bring rust, they bring lessons. Every jab, every pivot, every feint is loaded with experience. He does not see Rolly Romero being prepared for the type of intelligence Manny will bring. It's not about flash, it's about control. Manny controls distance better than almost anyone, and Sanchez believes he will keep Rolly in check from the opening bell. The idea is not just that Pacquiao wins, it's that he dominates with subtlety. He outthinks, outpositions, and outclasses his opponent. And in Sanchez's view, that's what separates a boxer from a brawler. Rolly might have the energy and the talk, but Manny has the skill and the silence. He lets his fists do the speaking, and Sanchez believes those fists will say enough to win convincingly.
He's going to take that from Manny, for somebody to show him that way, that it's that's the end of the road. It happened to Hopkins too.
Abel Sanchez is not simply hyping up Manny Pacquiao for nostalgia's sake. He is making a cold, tactical, and brutally honest case for why Pacquiao remains a problem even at 46. From footwork to experience, from rhythm to mental warfare, Manny brings dimensions Rolly Romero has never encountered. Sanchez has seen countless matchups over the years, and when he says Manny will outbox and outthink a young lion like Rolly, he is not guessing, he is diagnosing. This fight is not about whether Pacquiao is in his physical prime. It's about whether Rolly is ready for the type of IQ and intensity that only Manny can bring. And if Abel Sanchez is right, then boxing fans are in for a reminder that greatness does not disappear with age. Sometimes it only becomes more refined. The message is clear. Rolly might be walking into a legacy moment, but the legacy he's up against is still sharp, still hungry, and still capable of putting on a masterclass. Manny Pacquiao is not done. He is still a problem. Subscribe to BoxiHub for more.